Hi there, welcome to another episode of Listen at Lunch. We have some noise going on in the background. If you guys want to pop on and tell me if that noise is too loud, I'm going to shut my window. I love the fresh air. I might just shut it until they're done doing their lawn mowing. There we go. Won't even have to worry about it. I hope everyone's doing well. It's another beautiful day in Michigan. The weather is not too hot. Actually it's 81 degrees, but it doesn't feel like 81, so that's really a blessing. Today, excuse me, we are going to do some simple stamping. We're going to revisit making our own designer series paper, and we're going to use the same sketch for all the cards that I'm going to show today, so that you can actually take these very simple measurements, this sketch, and make your own card just using different stamp set, different color scheme, but it's a great sketch that I think you're really going to enjoy using for a lot of different cards. And we're stepping it up a little bit, meaning it's simple stamping because you only have what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of cardstock, some dimensionals. We're also using embossing folders. So I am focusing today on these little duets. This one in particular is called Greenery embossing folders, and they come in a set of 2. And these are wonderful for accents on your cards and projects. These would make great scrapbook additions along with photos. This just gives a really pretty texture. It just adds so much when you add a little embossing folder to your projects. So that's what we're focusing on today. All right, scrolling up to see. Hi, Allison. Wow, so glad to see you here. Okay, today's flavor is, I went and got my teeth cleaned, so I didn't drink coffee this morning. Today's flavor is Wendy's Frosty-ccino. I tried the chocolate today. I've been enjoying coffee on ice, which is kind of surprising for me, and this is pretty good. So I'm going to take a sip and we'll get started. Right. So right now, embossing folders, you need a die cut machine. And I happen to have my old Big Shot that Stampin' Up! Used to sell, is now retired. But Stampin' Up! Is coming out. Well, they have 2 new die cut machines. One is a larger regular size version, and then they have a mini die cut and emboss machine. Because I'm a demonstrator, I'm going to be able to get my hands on the larger one, which is available only to demonstrators in August, and then it will be available to purchase in September for other than demonstrators. This is the cut and emboss machine, and it folds up. As you can see here, it folds up so that it's easier to transport instead of having those panels sticking out the whole time. Anyway, I'm very excited to be able to get my hands on one of these next month and play around with it and let you know how wonderful it's going to be. So right now I'm just using the Big Shot for my embossing, and you can use any cut and emboss machine that you have. And yeah, so this is one of the sets of embossing folders called Greenery embossing folders. And like I said, it comes in a set of 2. And we're going to be playing with, we have 3 different sets of 2 embossing folders right now in the annual catalog, and I'm going to show you samples with all of those. All right, and then again, right down here it says shown at 45%. So this image right there is actually 45% of the actual image, and let me measure this for you so you can have an idea of how big of an area it's going to cover. This is 3 1/4 by 6. So 3 1/4 by 6 is going to get you all this impression on your cardstock. All right, so we're going to be using this one for the card I'm going to demonstrate today. And I have some very simple supplies. The first being your card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then it's folded right in the middle at 4 1/4. You can either score it and then use your bone folder to crease it really well, or you can just use your fingers and fold it over and then use your bone folder to crease it really well. This particular color is this cardstock is called Crumb Cake, which is a really great neutral, and needless to say, it's a staple that you need to have in your stash. All right, next I have a piece of 4 by 2 3/4. And then I have a piece of corresponding, this is real red. I have cinnamon cider that's 3 by 3. And this very vanilla is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. I'm going to pull out my scrap paper. And the stamp set I've chosen is Rooted in Nature. This is a beautiful stamp set. So it has 2 sets of stamps. These are cling mount stamps, so they are the red rubber. And look at, this is just natural beauty. And then you get a whole bunch of wonderful sayings, and I love the font on these too. This is absolutely gorgeous. So I was inspired by Karen Hadler, another demonstrator. She posted a card and I said, oh my gosh, that is my card that I'm going to demonstrate. So I'm pretty much copying her. I'm just changing the dimensions, using the same color she used, but I'm going to show you how beautiful we're going to create a card with this stamp set, Rooted in Nature. All right. So the first thing I'll do is this piece that is 4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to place this pretty much evenly inside the embossing folder. And you see this is folded. So evenly spaced, because you can see how you're doing it. Then I'm going to close this up and I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. So stand by. So basically these embossing folders are pressing the image right into your cardstock. It's lovely. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this right on my card base. I have this one set of bangs that just hangs right over my eye, and I have to keep pulling it back, and it's not long enough to go behind my ear. So if you see me stop for a second, it's because I'm pulling the hair out of my face. All right, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it with the tape right. I used Stampin Seal adhesive and rolled it on, and I'm attaching that to my card base. This is a hamburger fold. And next I'm going to stamp my images on right on here and create my own kind of designer series paper. Okay, so the first image I'm going to use is this beautiful tree trunk piece, ring. tree ring, and I'm using Crumb Cake. And I know it's going to be, it's super juicy. I'm going to take my red cling and stamp it up, ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it that dark. So here's stamping it off, and then I'm going to stamp it right on. So now I have a really pretty softer, see the difference there? So a really softer tree ring image. And of course, I want to clean it off. Set my cleaner somewhere. Okay, and I'm going to close this up because I'm all done with this color. This was Crumb Cake, which is the same color as my card base. Okay, next I'm going to take Real Red. And these are super juicy. And I am going to use a couple different, two different stamps in the Real Red. This really pretty lacy leaf and this little branch of leaves. And I'm going to start, I'm not going to stamp off because this is really wispy. So I don't think I need to stamp off. But I am going to just go all over. Just random stamping. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Maybe I'll put one more in the middle for good measure. Okay, I think that's good for this one. Clean it up. It's all in how you like it. Set that aside. Now I'm going to use this one, and I think I'm going to use this. I think I will, well, let's see what it looks like stamped off. So let's use our scrap here, and I've inked it up really well. Stamp it once and stamp it twice. I think I can go ahead and stamp it without stamping off. I think I want it to be dark. So I'm going to not stamp off, I'm just going to stamp on my project. And you know, if you don't get all of the image on here, it's really okay, because this is pretty much forgiving and it's your own paper here, so just make it work. Look how pretty that is. I think it's beautiful. I love the stamp set. I don't particularly care. Real Red is not one of my favorite colors, that's for sure. But when I saw Karen do this project and make her card with using this color combo, I said, oh my gosh. Okay, thank you for helping me think outside the box. So the next, close this up because I'm done with the Real Red. And the next color I'm using is Cinnamon Cider. It's one of the new in colors. And I'm going to use this leaf. Isn't that pretty? Now, I want to test it and see if I want to use full on or if I want to stamp off. I think I want to stamp off because it's a little, well, it's pretty close to the cardstock. This is the color of the cardstock we're using. This is a 3x3 piece. But it's kind of pretty stamped off. So I'm going to stamp off. Yeah. So pretty. And you notice I'm just coming up with my own kind of design here. leaving some spaces open. It's okay, really. So I think that looks pretty good. Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining. All right, so we'll close up the cinnamon cider. And we can go ahead and, I think I'm pretty well done with this. So I'm going to turn it over and put my adhesive on it and attach it to my cinnamon cider card base here. And some of you that were on bingo last month recognize this design, because we're going to put that right there on our card, and that's our simple card. But we're also going to, and did I bring, no, I want to stamp this greeting in Very Vanilla. A little scrap of Very Vanilla, and then we're going to cut it out. I'm going to stamp it in real red. And I'm using Be Strong, Be Happy, Be You. I'm going to ink this up really well. And because this is a cling mount, I don't need a cushion behind me. And I'm just going to stamp this and hold it down. My name is Keri. My name is Keri. My name is Keri. Voila. Okay? There we have it. So I'm going to let that dry for a second, because red tends to take a little bit longer to dry, and I don't want it to smear. Okay, then I'll take my scissors, my paper snips, and we're going to cut this out. Clean off my stamp right while I'm doing it. Okay, this should be dry. Yep. All right, so now I'm going to cut these out. This is going to take a little bit. So I know I've asked you what kind of music you like to listen to when you're crafting. Does anybody craft and watch television? I don't know. I can't concentrate enough. It's too distracting for me to watch television and craft unless I'm just putting things together. If I'm stamping or trying to come up with a design or composing something, I do not like to have the television on, because it takes 3 times as long for me to complete a project. So I don't watch television, but I do like listening to music. And I'm just trimming these down because I want them to be separate. Separate little, I want to be able to move these around. I'm so inspired by other people's cards, and especially when they use stamp sets that I would have thought, I wasn't going to get that one, right? This one is definitely a stamp set that I've had in my stash that I absolutely love, because it is so versatile. Alright, and I'm going to take these 3, and I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to put them, this is Very Vanilla, by the way. I'm going to put dimensionals on them, and my dimensionals should be right here handy. Interesting. Oh, there. Hidden underneath my catalog. All right. Okay, these little mini dimensionals are almost just the right size for what I've cut, so you're not going to be able to see them. behind the project, hopefully. This one's got a little too close, so I have a little wiggle room to peel that up, kind of like when I'm pulling a cling mount stamp off the acrylic block. You have to catch underneath the adhesive portion. Wow, I really am not good at putting these on. You can cut these down too if you want to. I just wanted to use a full one for better coverage. There we go. All right, a couple more on this one. It's pretty good. That piece of hair keeps getting in my eye. All right, so there we have it. Now I'm going to peel these off. There's a little cover on these. Let go. And I'm going to place these on my card in the same order. Be strong, be happy, be you. Let me take this off so that I can see squarely. Be strong. Be happy. Staggering them because I don't like it to be perfect. Because I am not a perfect stamper. That's why I like making my own designer series paper with these beautiful stamps. Come on. It's a little. Didn't want to come off. And be you. Voila. Now I can just place this on my card, or I can pop it up. Since I'm not putting any ribbon or anything around it, I think I'm just gonna use my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just going to put it right on my card rather than popping this up anymore. And the reason I'm putting my Stampin' Seal Plus on is because this embossed image, I want to make sure that it stays down because it's giving it a little height there, a little off balance. And I'm going to put this right basically in the center. Standing up. Voila! So now we've used 4 pieces of cardstock. 4 simple pieces. This is 5.5 by 8.5. This is 4 by 2 3/4. This cinnamon cider back is 3 by 3, and this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Or if you want to, you can go 2 3/4 if you don't like measuring with 8. And then I just stamped the greeting on a scrap sheet of Very Vanilla and cut it out, and then popped it out. So super simple, but look how elegant this card is. You've got this texture in the background, which just makes it pop. You used 3 colors, 3 different ink colors, Real Red, Crumb Cake, and Cinnamon Cider. And I stamped off so that I didn't get too dark of an image with the Cinnamon Cider. And now you have this gorgeous card. So I want to show you some other embossing folders and what I've made with them. And I think you're going to really like it. Again, this is the Forever Greenery embossing folders. These are 2 that are 3 1/4 by 6. Go. And the reason I put stickers on these is because with our Big Shot that is retired, there are different sandwiches, if you will, that you put together for regular embossing folders and for the 3D embossing folders. And I take my Big Shot and my dies and my embossing folders with me to my scrap days and my weekends, so that those that are with me, my customers and my friends, can use all my stuff. And this just makes it easier. So I tell them, so they don't have to guess or have to sit there and play and figure out which plate goes with what. I tell them whether they use 1 clear, 2 clear, or a blue plate. So I marked those accordingly. And then I have 2 big shots. So one is for die cutting and the other one's just for the embossing folder. So it makes it really easy for them to come and enjoy. But when we get this new cut and emboss machine, I know it's going to be fabulous. So if you're interested in getting one of those, give me a shout. As a customer, you'll be able to purchase the larger cut and emboss machine in September. And as a demonstrator, you get to purchase it a month in advance ahead of the customer release. So this is the card we made using the Greenery embossing folder and Rooted in Nature. Now, I used the same exact dimensions and used Queen Anne's lace and the same embossing folder, and I made this card. So different colors, same dimensions, but it's really kind of a different card, right? I added a little bow here. So you can step it up a notch. There's one. This Queen Anne's lace is gorgeous too. I don't know, I love this wispy stuff. Okay, the next one I made, I used the Meadow Moments embossing folders. So you can see there's 2 of those. These are shown at 45%. So these are 3 1/4 by 6 as well. And these are really fun. Now for this particular card, I used the 4 Seasons Floral. And I used this pretty butterfly floral leafy pattern. I don't know if that helps you see it better. Okay, and I made a card with the 4 Season Floral that we used on a previous episode. And I made this one just monochromatic. It's black and white. I think that's really pretty. Super simple. Same dimensions for the entire card as the others. Just a black and white card. So very fun. The next card, I used the other embossing folder, which is like the leafy embossing folder. Okay, I think you're going to like this because you're going to see that I used a different element. So this is Field of Flowers, and it has a punch, a border punch that punches out these cute little flowers. So this comes in a bundle, or you can purchase the stamp set separately, or you can purchase the punch separately too. And this one, okay, so same dimensions for all your cardstock. This is a hamburger fold card. I did back this, but this is using the new brass foil sheet. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I mounted it on. I didn't like the I didn't like this directly on the cardstock. I felt it needed to be backed, so I did back this. So I did add 1 piece of cardstock. This is Bumblebee, Mary Merlot, right here, and this is very vanilla as well. For the colors, I used Pumpkin Pie and Old Olive, and these are stamped off. These are not direct, and this is Mary Merlot. But isn't that gorgeous with the brass foil? So you're not limited to cardstock. I just thought that was really pretty. So I just moved this piece from the side. I moved it over here. Made it look like more of leaves falling. Right? Which one do you like so far? I have 2 more to show you because I had so much fun with this. This is such a simple sketch. So now I used the little details embossing folders. And these are really fun. This is a really pretty stitched, and these are like borders. So I used this stitched one, and I used Hippo Happiness, which is really a cute stamp set. I was like, oh, do I need this? Yeah, go ahead. So I got this stamp set, and I'm also using the rainbow glimmer paper, which is really pretty, because I figured, you know, I'm going to stamp a unicorn. I think I need rainbow stuff. So here's the card I made with this stamp set and the rainbow glimmer paper. I hope you like it. I do. It's really fun. Look at that. When in doubt, be a unicorn. I know a little girl whose birthday is coming up, so I made this for her. I know she loves unicorns. So same dimensions, same sketch, right? Look at this glimmer paper. How pretty is that? These are my favorite colors, greens and blues. So this is soft sea foam, granny apple green, and then I stamped this with Mango Melody and Magenta Madness. And then I stamped the unicorn in Daffodil Delight. This is stamped, the When in Doubt Be a Unicorn saying is stamped in Blackberry Bliss. I stamped little stars all around. You gotta have, you know, you gotta have that cute little bling all around it. Those are in soft sea foam, which is the card base. And can you see the texture on this glimmer paper? You're not limited to cardstock. And I hope you can see that I used Wink of Stella on his horn, on his mane and tail, and then on the little stars all around too, because there's a bunch of glimmer on this. Gotta put some glimmer on this one too. But super simple, same sketch dimensions. Okay, just using a different embossing folder. So we've got a whole bunch here. I have 5 different samples that I showed you, but I also wanted to show you that you can step it up a notch. So the last thing I want to show you is how I took this card, which is gorgeous just the way it is, right? Simple stamping, simple supplies with some dimensionals and an embossing folder. But I stepped it up. Not only did I, sorry, reaching in front of you. Not only did I use some linen thread, but I put some bling on here as well. I used the little red rhinestones. And what's the other one called? I'll get it out and show you. So I just stepped it up a notch. Elegant Faceted Gems. And these are so pretty. So these come in a frost, gold, I believe, and clear. So pretty. So I just grabbed some of those along with some red rhinestones and popped those on here. I wrapped ribbon around and then I popped it up. Oh, and I also took my scissors and I distressed this on the edges. So went from a gorgeous, simple card, which is absolutely fine just the way it is, but if you want to step it up a notch, you can take some linen thread and wrap it around and add some bling. Both gorgeous. All right. Wow. That's a lot of beautiful cards. I'm going to be posting these on my page, on our group, so that you can see all these designs that I made using the same dimensions. And I'd love to see what you came up with. Please post yours. Once I post these, post your projects in the comment section and I will draw for a winner. And by the way, speaking of winners, I drew the last 4 out of 5 sessions, and my winners, for those that did share their cards, I have 4 winners because I never posted the winners. So 4 winners are going to be receiving some happy mail from me. The first is Sherry Zalesnik. Then there's Joyce Puglia and Stephanie Whitmore and Lisa Wisniewski. You guys all win some happy mail because you were wonderful and it was just a random drawing. You posted your projects underneath my post for a few of the episodes, and I drew you as a lucky winner. So you guys are going to get some happy mail from me. Let's see. Remember that, a couple of reminders. We are in bonus days. Stampin' Up! Is giving you what's called bonus days. You spend $50, you earn a $5 coupon. There's no limit. The $50 that you spend to get that $5 coupon is now through August 3rd. So every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon to spend in starting August 4th through the 31st. And those coupons will come once the order is submitted. Those coupons will come in an email to you. Save that email so that you can use those coupons in August. Also, you know my drill. I thank you for being a customer of mine. I really appreciate you ordering with me. So I give you, each month, I have a new tutorial with 15 different projects that are collaborated with 14 other demonstrators. And we all share a project with the instructions. And so you get a talented team tutorial from me with a $50 order. Each month is different, and I thank you for that. If you spend $100 or more in the month of July, you will receive a embellishment from me. It could be a bolt of ribbon. It could be a package of rhinestones. Just a fun little embellishment to use on your projects, brand new. And then if you spend $150 or more with me, not only do you get Stampin' Rewards for meeting the minimum $150, you'll also get the tutorial, the embellishment, and you'll get a beautiful handmade gift from me as well. Separate from that, know that I'm having my BOGO sale, which is buy one, get one, starting on Thursday from 1 to 4 and Friday from 1 to 4. I have you sign up for a time slot. The 1 o'clocks are filled for both days. 1 and 2 o'clocks are filled for both days. So sign up for your spot. And what happens is I bring out all my retired Stampin' Up! Products, and you come through. They're marked at retail price. You come through, and whatever you purchase in my retired Stampin' Up! Products, you get in new products before shipping and handling. So bring your wish list, sign up for a spot, and come and get 2 for 1. It's a great deal, and I'd love to see you. So shoot me an email or send me a text as to what time you'd like to come over and get in on the BOGO sale, 2 for 1. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me again, and hope to see you very soon. Meanwhile, be sure to reach out to me and let me know if you have any questions. You can place your order online, which our new online store with Stampin' Up! Is going through some great changes so that it's easier for you. You can sign out as a guest, or you can create an account. So that's in the works, and I'm very excited about that. There's also going to be a wish list section, so the things that you put in your cart that you want to save for later, you'll have a section where you can push them over, and then they'll still be there when you come back and sign on, so that you can purchase those at a different time. All right, everyone, have an excellent day. Stay well and be blessed.